Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to touch one main tool that is to cover or to do code coverage. It's called EclEmma or EclEmma, however you want to call it. On the description below, I'm going to link all the downloadables part or jar that you need to use, as well as commands that you need to run to be able to do test coverage on your web application over Tomcat with EclEmma. This is the web page. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to download the two main jar components that is necessary to run the actual code coverage and the other jar that is to create the report. We are going to touch two types of reporting view. One of the reporting view through Eclipse IDE, and the second reporting view will be through HTML. Either or, they work well, and you can see code coverage result, you can see line coverage, and you can see a visualization of the source code or whatever your test cases did not went through your report. The first thing will be downloading the two packages from here from the search maven repository, which is this link I'm going to link below on the description. And to be able to run our classes, we need to download the EclEmma. And this is one thing that I need to point out. EclEmma is using actual Jacoco engine, so that's why you will see the Jacoco packages working with EclEmma or EclEmma, however you want to call it. The first one that you are going to download will be the Jacoco agent, but you need to download the runtime jar. You got several options here, but the one that you are going to download will be runtime jar. This is very important. You click on it, and the download will start. I'm not going to download it, which is I have already downloaded it. The second package that you need to download will be the Jacoco command line interface or CLI, which is this one down here. Okay, this one will allow you to create the reports that you need for HTML. Remember, the first option will be through the Eclipse IDE, and the second one will be through HTML reporting. The package that you need to download for this one will be the Node.ps, which is that jar, which is this one has all the component needed to be able to generate HTML report with the EclEmma or EclEmma tools. If you would like to visualize or view the report on the Eclipse IDE, you need to open your Eclipse IDE. I'm using Eclipse Neon here. You can go to Help, Install New Software, and put here EclEmma you put EclEmma, and then it will populate. You double click on it, and you will select the EclEmma, and then select all. But since I already have this package installed on my IDE, it won't give me the next. My next is grayed out. But if it's your first time installing this tool, this next or finish will be available for you to install the tool. Okay, but now we will run our configuration and then run our test cases to be able to generate the jacoco.exec file. The first command that we are going to run is the command to be able to set up our Java environment in order to create and tell Java how to use or what to use to be able to generate the jacoco.exec file when your Tomcat is running. This is very important. The jacoco.exec file will be created and updated once your Tomcat server is stopped. You need to start your Tomcat server, run your test cases, and stop your Tomcat server. If not, your Jacoco exec file will not be created or updated. Okay, the first we copy this command down here. As I said before, I'm going to put all these commands in the description below, and then we paste it on our command line interface. Okay, this part up here, all these options, I'm not really that sure what they do. It's most likely to like certain parameters inside Java, but this is the important part. Minus Java agent. It's telling Java what agent to use in order to create the jacoco.exec file, and then write equal destination file and where you want your jacoco.exec file, which is the file that contains the result for your test cases, will be. Then you hit enter, and now the Java has been set up. Now we need to start our Tomcat server. This Tomcat server has already the application inside. So my application is already set up in the Tomcat server. It's just a matter of running Tomcat server and then run the test cases and stop Tomcat server. So let's navigate where the Tomcat server is at. So it will be cd Apache Tomcat, then cd bin. So we need to start our Tomcat server. Our Tomcat server should be starting. Then you open a browser and navigate to your application, which is in my case in my local host, International Consortium. Then log in, some password. You will have to have all this set up already in design. Let's do some searches. Okay, let's do some added to the panels. Let's do some creation of panels. The best panel. Then let's do some display panels. For example, this one over here. Let's do some updates. Complete. Let's update it up. Log out, and I would like to show you that my destination for my Jacoco got already created, but it's gonna get updated right after I shut down my Tomcat server. As you see, it's 7:14, and once I shut down my Tomcat server, the Jacoco got updated to 7:16. Okay, perfect. That means that we have already data in this jacoco.exec file. Okay, so now we need to see the actual data, the actual report for this jacoco file. And the first option that we talked about was through the Java or Eclipse IDE. Okay, so we're gonna open our Eclipse IDE. The coverage, we're gonna open the coverage tab. Okay, then we're gonna right click on it, import session, because we need to go and pull the Jacoco file that got created. We're gonna browse here. We're gonna browse to wherever the new jacoco.exec file is created. Then we're gonna double click on it, and we're gonna go next, and we're gonna select what source code is the one that we need or we want to attach with it. So because by selecting the source code, we will be able to see what lines were covered and what lines were not, so you can create more test cases to be able to cover as much lines as possible and to reach your coverage point. Could be 80%, could be 85%, whatever the test designer decide what will be the set code coverage for your test cases. Then you're gonna click finish, and then this will be your core coverage for your entire package. It's 60%. If you expand here, you will be going deeper inside all of your packages and even inside of all of your classes. For example, if we open this class had a 50-50% coverage. Let's open it up and let's see in a color coded how we have lines that were covered and lines that were not covered. So for example, in this case, we got half and a half covered, half and a half no covered. So let's open a more broad and let's see, for example, something that got a little more coverage was a controller, which has 78.6 of coverage. And as you see, these green lines were the ones were covered, plus these red lines were the ones that were not covered, and these yellow lines were the ones that covered partially. So you can keep scrolling down, and you can, depending on the red line coverage that were not covered for your test cases, you can create more test cases and then increase your coverage line. So the second option that we have to be able to read the jacoco.exec file will be through an HTML file, and in this case we are going to use the other package that we downloaded, which is the Jacoco command line interface. Okay, so we open again our command, and I'm going to copy it here. As you see, it's pretty long. We'll have this command line interface in this command line in the description below. Okay, and we are going to paste the first part, and then let's copy the second part, and I'm going to explain now what each part of this command does. Okay, so the first part will be telling Java to run the Jacoco command line interface that you downloaded previously, and this is the full path to that jar that is going to use this jar to be able to generate a report, and this is an actual command from the Jacoco command line jar, which is I'll probably put a link to the actual documentation of this Jacoco command line interface. This parameter jacoco.exec file will be the jacoco.exec file, and this is the full path. I don't put anything because I'm already in the full path, which is actually I'm not in the full path, and I need to correct this before I continue because I'm actually inside my Tomcat server. So I'm going to correct this one for F. Then now I'm going to go to inside the actual full path of the jacoco.exec file. Then the -- class file will be the classes that Jacoco command line interface or Jacoco CLI will use to be able to generate the Java classes to generate the report. Why you need this? Because some tools for code coverage, you need to instrument the classes previously that you run your test cases. Jacoco or EclEmma has both option of instrumented previously and then run the test cases. But in this specific tutorial, we are using the second option of Jacoco engine, which is an in-flight or a runtime instrumentation. So we don't need to instrument it previously. The Jacoco agent will be instrumenting the classes at the moment that the test cases are being run. So to generate the report, you need the Java classes to be able to generate the report. Then you're gonna do -HTML telling the Jacoco CLI to generate an HTML report. Then the full path where you want that report to be stored, and then the source file for the actual source code of your project. So in my case, I took it directly from the Eclipse workspace. So this one is important, as I said before, to be able to see what code or what line were covered and what not, so you can improve your code coverage by creating more test cases that will actually run through those lines. Okay, let's hit enter here, and let's see, what, perfect, we generated 25 classes. Then we're gonna go to fjacoco report to see if it got generated. Say fjacoco report, and here we have our generation. As you see, it got generated like right now. Let's open this in a browser, and then here you have your report in HTML, total lines, and you got the total instructions and lines. Remember, you sometimes they use instructions, sometimes use line for the description. Instructions one thing, and lines are the actual line of the source code. The instruction will be either the whole line got covered for every single statement or no. So if all the statements were covered in that line, that is read as an entire instruction coverage. Okay, we got Macy's branches and branches line, and you can drill down through in packages like the same way that you did it in the Eclipse IDE. Okay, if you can open control, and if you can go deeper inside classes, right out of your browser, you don't need to have the Eclipse IDE. Okay, and this is all you need to see your report in EclEmma or EclEmma, however you want to call it. And I hope this has been helpful for you, and thank you so much for watching.